Now let's create a basic shooter. We're going to shoot Chuck Norris. So if I searched for Chuck Norris on Google, you can look under the Google images. You can look under the cartoon type graphics or Simpsons, and eventually you might find this awesome image here. And what I'm doing here is, let me just hide this code here. I hand drew this using the paintbrush tool. I highlighted it. I right-clicked, convert to symbol, and I called this instance name Crosshair, CROSSHAIR. So in the code here, I add event listener. Every time we enter the frame, we're going to call function AAA. Now function AAA, I'm making the actual crosshair's X position always update to wherever the mouse's X position is. Now I'm also going to hide the original mouse. If I don't have this line of code, look what happens. You can see there's the mouse. Notice how the mouse is actually in the center of my symbol, movie symbol. When you actually draw some kind of crosshair and you highlight it and you right click, convert to symbol, it's good to make the crosshair registration point the center, not the top left, otherwise you'd have to manually fix it. Okay, so going back to the code, we do want to hide the mouse. Control Enter, you can see that you essentially replaced your mouse cursor with very little lines of code. Now how do we make it shoot Chuck Norris and make a sound effect? So this is where we need to find sounds off the internet, and you can go to freesound.org, or you can just Google some sound effect, or there's even some YouTube to MP3 converters out there, websites that do so. But ultimately find your sound file and go to File, Import to Library, and I found a gunshot sound. By the way, a good free sound editor is called Audacity, AUDACITY. It's a very intuitive way of clipping your sound effects, and of course you can use other sound editors that you might be familiar with. Alright, so I found this gunshot wave file. I import to library, Control L, or window library. We have this gunshot wave. So how do we actually use it in the code? Right click, properties, click on the Actionscript tab, click on export for Actionscript. I'm going to call this my sound, or gun sound with a capital G, capital S. Gun sound is a class name, and I click on export for Actionscript, click on OK. Just remember the class name, it's important. Gun sound. So I have this, I'm going to go to frame 1, and Chuck Norris. When I click on Chuck Norris, let me just look at the properties here. Right now it's a bitmap. So here I'm just gonna right click and convert it to a symbol. I'm gonna convert it to I'll call this Chuck. Call it Chuck. Click on OK. So this is now a movie clip symbol. I'm gonna call it movie 1, just to keep things simple to understand. This is movie 1. So on frame 1, I'm going to press F9. I'm going to add some more code here. I will make it so that it plays music. So let's see the sound effect, and let me just find some code here. Excuse me while I just find some code here. Alright, so I found some code, and I will just clean this up for you. This function is called play sound, and the way it works is I don't really need this function. Okay, so this is the code for Actionscript 3 to play music or play a sound effect. You say variable sound, or S, is equals to, and this is the actual class name that we called it. If you forgot what it was, just always go back to the library, Control L, and if you right click properties, just recall what we called it in Actionscript. It's called gun sound. So go back to the actual frame 1. Gun sound equals new gun sound, looks correct. I start play. So this is how you play a sound effect. Control Enter, and there we heard a pow sound. It actually worked. You might have not heard it, but I heard it. So we don't want to just make it play by itself. We want to actually play only if you click on the movie. So we need to add another event listener. So you're going to add, we're going to say movie1.add event listener, event dot, it's a mouse event actually, mouse event dot click. We're going to call, so shot chuck. We're going to have a function called shot chuck. So we have function shot chuck. If you shot Chuck Norris, I'm going to take a mouse event. So it's a mouse event in the sense that when you click on it, then that's when we actually want to play the sound effect. So in the case where you shoot Chuck, that's when we should play it. So that's when we click on it. Okay, so I'm going to press Control Enter, and I am going to click here, nothing happens, but when I click on Chuck, it actually works, and I see my crosshairs behind Chuck. So let's see if we can fix that up here. So right now, this I'm going to press Control X to cut it, and I'm going to call layer 1, double click it, call it Chuck. I'm going to click on this button here, which is new layer. I'm going to call this crosshair, and I'm going to just click here and paste it. So I'm going to paste the crosshair. Oops. Paste it on that layer above and see if that helps. Control Enter. So now the crosshair is above, and only if you actually click on him, you hear a sound effect, pow. But when you think about it, you know, we should be able to shoot anywhere. However, this is the case where you can actually shoot him and win. Alright, so I think this is enough concepts for today, or at least for this video. We'll continue on to finish off an exciting shooting style game where you can play sound effects, and we can even make Chuck Norris move. Congratulations, you understand how to play sound, and we're well on our way to even customizing the mouse cursor. Please like, subscribe, comment for more videos.